What's up guys, I'm KB Kwan from Taste of Asian Food. Soup kambing is the best mutton soup that I have ever had. I'm gonna show you an easy mutton soup recipe, and don't freak out when you see there's a whole list of ingredients. Although it's important to have all these ingredients, the cooking process is relatively forgiving and easy to follow. Soup kambing simply means mutton soup in our language, Malay language, and it is one of the delicious soups I always order in the local Malaysian Indian restaurant. It is quite different from the Western and Chinese soups due to the liberal use of spices. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make this classic Malaysian soup. Let's get started. First, let's get ready some mutton pieces. It is best to use some mutton with bones, as the bone marrow will release the flavor to the soup. It is also quite difficult to cut it into pieces, so please ask your butcher to cut it for you into about 1 to 1.5 inches cubes. I've cleaned the mutton under running water a few times to remove the blood and debris, and that's to ensure that I'm going to get a clean soup. I've also prepared some aromatic, that is my ginger, garlic and some onion, and I'm going to saute it until it turns aromatic. Let's go ahead to saute the onion, garlic and ginger. Once you can smell the fragrance, then you can switch off your stove and let it cool. Then transfer it to an electric blender. Add a little bit water. Blend until it becomes a smooth paste. Next, place all the muttons into a large stock pot and add water sufficient to cover all the bones. Bring the water to a boil over high heat. When it comes to a boil, turn down the heat to low and use a fine strainer to remove the scum that's floating on top. That will ensure that you get a clean soup. Let's continue simmer the soup for another 1 hour, and meanwhile let's move on to prepare the vegetables. Cut a carrot into wedges. Celery and a tomato. Also some coriander. Cut the stalk into short pieces and keep the leaves for garnishing. While boiling the soup, let's get some dry spices: cinnamon, star anise, cardamom and cloves. Dry roast the whole spices until it turns aromatic. This is an optional step. You can straight away use it without this step, but you know, every step contributes to the end result. So if you really want to get a good soup, don't skip it. When the spices become aromatic, remove it. Then transfer the spices into a small cloth bag. Let's get back to the mutton soup. Now I will add the blended ingredients into the soup. That's the ginger, onion, garlic, and also the bouquet garni, that's the dry spices, and continue simmer. Let it come to a boil, then reduce the heat to bare simmer and continue the process. Now let's add the vegetable to the soup. If you want to get a thick soup, you can add the vegetable earlier and simmer it until it starts to disintegrate. Then you can get a thick soup. If you prefer the vegetables to be intact, then you can add the vegetable later, set about 20 to 30 minutes before you switch off the stove. Now let's flavor the soup with the spices. A teaspoon of cumin powder, a teaspoon of coriander powder, quarter teaspoon of turmeric powder, just a little bit, and the korma spices, that is the spices to make korma chicken. You should be able to get this korma powder in the Asian grocery store. Some white pepper, garam masala. You can refer to the recipe in the description below the video for the exact quantity of each of them. Some salt. We can adjust the saltiness later if it is not enough. And lastly, a few bay leaves. Now let's continue to simmer the soup over low heat. Okay, it's quite ready now. As you can see, the tomato has fully disintegrated, but the carrot is still intact. That's what I want. So now I'm going to add in the coriander stalk. And some fried onions. Then switch off the stove and add a squeeze of lime juice. And the soup kambing is ready. Add a bit more fried onions and coriander leaves to serve. That's how to make soup kambing, the Malaysian style mutton soup. I bet it's quite different from the Western style creamy soup or the Chinese style clear soup. It is one of its kind. So give it a try, and I have already included the recipe in the description below the video. Please subscribe, tap the notification bell, and give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you in the next video soon. Bye for now.